Okay, so here we are again for another Pilates session. We're going to do a hand weight session this time. So as long as you're comfy on the floor, you're going to stick to the same rules that you do every time when we do Pilates. Don't work into any pain. Remember your 5 key elements and then try and have a little bit of fun. You can do all of these exercises without the weights. Make sure you use something that is challenging to you but doesn't make you feel that you've got to drop them in any second. Alright, I'm using a couple of cans of dog food because that's what I have during lockdown with no access to any gyms and no weights in the house. It is dog food for me. So you use what you need, so a couple of bottles of water or cans of beans or soup, whatever. Okay, you're going to start on the floor, okay, nice and square on your bottom. You're going to start with your cans in your hands, okay? And all we're going to do is you're going to start with your hands out long in front of you. I'm going to come a little bit closer to this end of the mat. And you're going to tuck your tailbone under, roll it back. You're going to take your hands overhead. You're going to sweep them round in a circle. And then you're going to roll it back up, all the way nice and tall. So you tuck it under, roll it back. Arms overhead. Nice long circle round, back to the knees and all the way up. Okay, so take it down and back, overhead, around, and all the way up. So the things you want to be thinking about here is chin down towards your chest, shoulders down away from your ears, nice smooth articulation of your spine, long with the shoulders, tuck the chin in, curl as you come up and come nice and tall on your bottom. Curl it back, overhead, sweep it round, curl it up, nice and strong at the middle, okay? If this feels a little bit too hard, then you can stay on the floor and just work the arms. There should be no pain in the neck or head, so make sure that it's not giving you any bother there. Trying to keep your ribs stacked above your hips throughout the move as you come back up. As smooth as you can make it, so don't sort of throw yourself up and then throw yourself down, okay? Nice and controlled. And we're going to go for another 5. Breathing out on the effort. 4. 3. 2. Nice and long and strong. And 1. Good. All the way around and all the way back up. Okay. You're going to start with walk your toes out, walk your heels out so that your feet are in line with your knees, in line with your hips. We're going to take it out for that nice gentle thoracic opening. So you're going to roll it back halfway, reach for the outside corner of your mat and then back up tall on your bottom. So open and up. Back and open and up. Obviously, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can take your feet off the floor. You may not get as far back. And it's all about that quality of move. So you're trying to keep your knees nice and still, trying to keep your pelvis facing forward if you can, breathing out on that effort, getting that nice little roll back and reach and up. Shoulders down away from your ears as you go. Nice and controlled. Good. Sweep it down and out and around and back. Down and out and around and back. So you're trying to start and finish at the same point in terms of having your hands at shoulder height and back. Reach down and back. Hi Tina. And up. Reach down and back and up. Good girl. Down and back and up. Down and back and up. Good. We're going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You're going to roll it all the way down. Okay. So I'm going to wiggle down my mat just a little bit so I can stay on camera. Okay. So from here, you're going to start with your feet and your knees together. You're going to walk your toes out, walk your heels out. So your feet make that nice number 11. And your feet are in line with your knees and line with your hips, okay? Nice and relaxed around the ribs. You're going to make sure you've got that good pelvic neutral, nice and strong at that core. You're going to get hold of your weights. You're going to scoop your head up into that abdominal prep position, okay? So your tummy shouldn't be doming, but you get that nice lift. And from here, you're going to hover your arms with the weights. You're going to scoop your right leg up and then your left leg up. You're going to tap your right down and then your left down, and then you're going to lower your head and shoulders, but keep your feet off the deck. Scoop the head and shoulders up, tap, tap, lower the head and shoulders. Scoop it up, tap, tap, lower the head and shoulders. Good. And off we go. Tap, tap, lower the head and shoulders. Scoop it up, tap, tap, lower the head and shoulders. Scoop it up. You should be able to maintain a little bit of a gap between your lower back and the floor. You're really getting all that strength from that middle, so if it's giving you any head or neck pain, keep the head and neck down, but you can still hover the arms. You're aiming to get enough of a lift that it's the lower part of your shoulder blades that are touching the deck. As you come up, really reaching with your arms to the far end of your mat, and lower. Scoop, and 1, 2, and down, and up. 1, 2, and down, and scoop. 1, 2, and down, and scoop. You're going to go for another, should we say 3? Scoop. 1, 2, and down, and scoop. 1, 2, and down, and scoop. Last one. 1, 2, and rest it down. Pop your weights by your sides. Scoop your knees into your chest, give it a little bit of a cuddle. Okay, from here you can do a wee circle round one way, and then a wee circle round the other way. You're going to pop one foot down, then the other. Get hold of your weights again, and we're going to do a little bit of hundreds, okay? So from here, it's a nice controlled, chin down towards the chest, shoulders down away from the ears, ribs nice and relaxed. Good pelvic neutral, nice and strong in that middle. As you get hold of your weights, reach for the far end of your mat. You're going to pulse, nice and strong and steady, okay? And you're going to pulse palms downwards at this point. This is where you're going to find out whether you've chosen a weight that's too heavy or not. Nice and controlled. You're going to scoop your right leg up. And then your left leg up. Zip them together from hips to toes. And then you're going to go palms upwards. Really keeping that stability and that balance around the middle. Stretch your right leg out. Pulse your hands downwards. You should be going 5 pulses per breath in, per breath out. Bring that right leg in. Stretch the left leg out. Nice and controlled. Nice and relaxed around the neck. Bring that left leg in. Zip them together. Pulse it palms upwards. Good. Straighten both legs, palms downwards. If you want to make it harder, you can scoop the head and shoulders up. You're going to go nice and steady, shoulders down away from the ears, nice and controlled. Bend the knees, nice and strong. We're going to go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pop your weights down, scoop your knees in. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Circle around one way with the knees, and then you're going to go back the other way. Good job. You're going to bring them back to that double tabletop position so you can check that they're in the right place. Palm of the hand should hit the top of the knee. That means your knee is in line with your hip. Make sure your feet stay elevated so don't let them hang towards your bottom. You're going to get hold of your weights. You're going to take your elbows out to shoulder height, and you're going to take your hands towards the ceiling, and you're going to press and then return. Press and then return. If that feels a little bit too much, you can put your feet on the floor. Equally, if you want to make it harder, you can straighten your legs. Okay? So you can straighten your legs as the arms come up, just to add in another sort of dynamic element to it. Nice and strong and steady. And off we go. Good. I'm going to go for 10, 9, trying to keep everything nice and still at that middle. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you're going to keep your feet there and your knees there, your hands above your chest. You're going to open nice and wide and back in, wide and in. So the important thing here is making sure that your ribs stay stacked above your hips, that you're not having your chest rise and fall away from the floor. Nice and controlled. And again, if you want to make it harder, you can have the legs come out as the arms come out. Nice and slow and steady. Keeping those hands below face level, so hopefully they should be in line with your shoulders. Nice and strong. I can hear Tina snoring. Good. Nice and controlled. We're going to go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Pop the cans down, scoop the knees in a little bit. Stretch your right leg out, stretch your left leg out. Just scoop up on that just a wee touch. And you want to go long with the hands and long with the toes to get a full body stretch there, alright? Nice and steady. And when you're ready, you're going to roll over onto your front. We're going to do a little bit of work in kneeling, okay? So you're going to have your cans just ahead of shoulder position, okay? And you can either do this from your knees, or if you so wish, you can do it from an elongated plank position, okay? But we'll start with it at the knees, okay? So from here, you want your right hand to get hold of your left can, and you're going to place it underneath your left arm, okay? You're then going to take your can in front of your right hand and place it underneath your right arm, okay? And we're going to go for a nice controlled reach and return, reach and return, reach and return, reach and return, okay? So you're doing a nice crossover with the can as you lift it from underneath one arm and then place it in front of the hand, and then lift it from in front of the hand to underneath the opposite arm, okay? So the aim of the game here is to keep everything as steady as you can and as controlled as you can, okay? Alright, so if you want to make it harder, like I say, you can take it from that plank position. You reach for the can and place it in front, reach for the can and place it in front, reach for the can and place it under, reach for the can and place it under. Always going on the diagonal, always crossing over the body. You are trying to keep, she says, as still as possible and as level as possible with the hips. Obviously, the closer your feet are together, the harder it's going to be. So the further apart they are, so I have mine about almost width of my mat. Nice and strong, push away with the shoulders. We're going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, always alternating, always on the diagonal. Good. And 1. Good. Lower the knees if you haven't already. Feet together, knees apart. Sink your bottom down. Nice strong stretch out there. Pose of a child. That was a tough one. Okay, so from here you can either start with knee position, okay? Hands ahead of your hands. Okay, you're going to come into that nice plank, okay, long plank. You're going to touch your shoulder, touch the can, down. Touch your opposite shoulder, touch the can, down. Shoulder, can, down. Shoulder, can, down. Shoulder, can, down. Shoulder, can, down. So you go opposite shoulder, but same can on the same side as the hand that's lifted, okay? And again, you make it harder by doing it from the toes rather than from the knees, okay? We're going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the knees, sink it down, give your wrists a wee roll round, nice and controlled. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Okay, so we're going to try doing, I call them donkey kicks, but I'm not sure what other people call them. You want to take your can or your hand weight, whatever you've got, and place it at the back of your knee if you can. I don't know if mine's going to stay now. It's probably better in shorts. Let's try it and see. You want to keep it there, lift and lower. If you can, lift, lower. So mine's a bit of a balancing act at the moment. Let's see if we can try 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm losing it. 5. Okay. Let's try the other side. Keep it even. This might be a winner with no can, actually, to be fair. 1, 2, and we snuck in a couple of ones before we started counting, so we're going to do 5 from here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So just to prove the point, it doesn't always go well, even for us who do it a little bit more regularly. So don't panic if it doesn't work. Okay, here we go, nice and controlled as you stretch it back. You're going to pop your cans to the side for just a moment. And you're going to come down onto your side. And from here, we're going to start in a nice side lying position. And then we're going to work up the challenge, okay? So work at the pace that you feel comfortable with, okay? So nice and long, chin down towards your chest, shoulders down away from your ears. You tuck your ribs back, you go long on that top leg so your hips are nice and level. You can bend up that bottom leg for a little bit of support if you want, or you can have it nice and long but flex up at the ankles, okay? So that gives you a little bit of stability, okay? From here, you're going to take that top leg to beyond the back corner of your mat. You're going to arch it up and over like a rainbow to past the front edge of your mat, okay? And then you're going to arch it back, keeping that control at the middle, okay? So there's no sinking at the waist. And it's a nice smooth arc, okay? So, I'm going to work here for a count of 20-ish, alright? So all the movement comes from the hip, it is not the knee, it is not the ankle. You're keeping strong and steady at that middle. And you're keeping that gap nice and even at your waist. So keep your hips facing that front edge of your mat as usual. Try and not roll backwards as we lift and lower. Okay, making sure you've got that nice smooth rainbow. Alright, if you want to make it harder, you can make that bottom leg straight, or you can come up on that elbow and you can arch it that way. I'm going to go for another 10, 9, try not to sink at the waist, 8, 7, staying lifted around the shoulder, 6, 5, 4, Ooh, feeling it now. 3, 2, I think my rainbows are getting smaller. 1, good. Bring it in, give it a wee gentle rub. Okay, because where you do rainbows, we're also going to do smiles, alright? So you're going to bring that top leg forwards to the front edge of the mat, okay? And you're going to bring it up to just beyond hip height. You're going to scoop it down and then scoop it up. So you're going to make a nice big smile with that foot. Keeping the leg forwards in that kind of angular position in front of you, but really working that glute. Okay, and again, you can make it harder by being up on your elbow. We're going to go for 12. Nice and strong. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3, oh my goodness, 2, and 1. Good job. Rest it down, scoop it up, give it a bit of TLC, because we all need a little bit of that now and again. My goodness. Okay, so from here, you're going to extend your arms out, okay? So if you've got a pillow, great. If not, you can roll up your mat a couple of times for a little bit of cushion for your head. Okay, from here you're going to do nice and strong from the tummy, and we're going to do a little bit of what's called your thoracic opening. So you're just going to reach back, let your head go with it, and then come back. So scooping both knees up means that it keeps your pelvis facing forwards while you get that rotation at that upper mid-back. Okay, which is all kinds of helpful when you are spending so much time working from home these days with the current situation. So getting as much variety of movement as you can is going to be really helpful to keeping you healthy, both mentally and physically. We all need to change the scene now and again. We're going to go for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, so unroll your mat. We're going to come up onto your bottom. You're going to feet together, knees apart, and then just pose of a child for a moment there before you change sides. Nice and relaxed down. This way you get to see my bright pink roots. Great. Okay. And then we're going to take it down onto your other side. Okay, so again, you can stretch that bottom leg out as far as you like or bend it up as much as you want. You're going for position of challenge, okay? From here, make sure you've got enough room that you're not going to kick the curtains over. And we're going, pardon me, from the back of the mat, nice up and over to the front. And if I shove my weights out the way, I might actually get that full range. Okay, just helps to be tidy in a small flat. So up and over, and up and back. Nice and strong in the middle. As you keep that stability and that concentration all around the hip. Okay, nice and steady. Making sure that you're making rainbows and not just throwing the leg backwards and forwards like I just did. Keeping it as consistent as you can. And like I say, you can make it harder by coming up into that elbow lean position, or even yet all the way up on that bottom knee. But I think we'll work at this level for a wee while, because we've still got your smiles to do. Not that you'll be smiling come the end, but it's your last one, so it'll be great. Nice and controlled. And reach. And reach. Good. I'm going to go for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. So you're going to bring it in, give it a little bit of a gentle rub before we take it back out to the forwards position of your mat. You're going to lift it up and you're going to do your smiles. Sweep down and up and down and up. Nice and strong. So you want to be trying to keep everything nice and still all around that lower back, and that you're trying to isolate really just around that hip and around that glute. Nice and smooth. We're going to go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, give it a gentle rub. Oofty. Oh, okay. So arms out nice and straight, knees tucked up nice and comfortably. We're going to open up for your thoracic openings there. And back. Nice and wide. And back. Let your head follow that arm. Obviously, if you've got a cushion, you can have that in at this point. But you're aiming to get as much rotation as you can. As smooth as you can. Go for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You're going to come over onto your hands and knees. Nice gentle sink back into that pose of a child. You're going to tuck the toes under, and as comfortably as you can, you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling for that controlled down dog. So big lengthen through the back of the legs, nice relax at the head and shoulders, okay? You're going to bring your hands forwards and then come forwards into that plank position, okay? And we're going to try doing 10 push-ups, okay? So you can either drop your knees or you can keep your legs nice and straight, okay? You ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees if you're not there already. Sink it back one more time into that pose of a child. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Okay, doing really well. And we're going to try and just do one more round of 10 push-ups, okay? So, hands down, toes down. You're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling into that down dog. Relax around the shoulders, relax around the neck. Okay, you walk your hands forwards into that press up position. Again, you can drop the knees if you want. And we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Nice and controlled, well done. Nice hard one to finish on. A couple of sets of 10 push-ups. Why not? Okay, so we're going to try and get, I always say this, but we're going to try and get another video up fairly soon, okay? From here, all I want you to do is to sit on your bottom, cross your legs, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. Let your shoulders come down away from your ears, okay? You're going to link your fingers, you're going to stretch it up. Open and down. 2 more like that. Link, up, open and down. Last one. Link, up, open and down. Thanks very much for joining me. Nice to see Tina's joined again for a small moment. She's doing fine. I'm doing fine. I hope you guys are staying safe and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.